up guys, it's Richard and we are here at Locals episode 6. We have 15 packs to open. Today we've got a Dark Crisis, 3 Ignition Assault and 11 Legendary Duelist Magical Heroes. So without further ado, we're going to start with the Ignition Assault, finish with the Dark Crisis. So, Super Rare Bulk, load of crap. Everyone's skipping all the cards here. Yeah, can we get a playset? Can we get a playset of Witchcrafter Genies from 3 packs? No we can't. But we still pulled 3 books. Heroes time. 2 cards I'm after, Magician's Soul, Performance Power Popper Up, which is a rare, so maybe. No. Hopefully we can end with a foil on the Dark Crisis pack as well. A very good rare. Yes, we got 1. We got 1. Can we get 2 more? Oh, let's pull the foil. Impossible Souls.
There's 2 there.
Cheers. How'd you do?
I beat them at 1.
Screw Ben Chancey up for winning and then decide how to do. See ya. What we got left? 4 of these left. 1 foil we pull. It's not going well. Oh, pull the foil. Ah. Well, 2 foils.
I'm just going to wait for Sam to give you a call.
The phone's over there anyway, so. Last pack. And then we move on to our weekly legacy pack. Crap. Legacy pack. Dark Crisis this week. Nah, nothing. Well, that was possibly the worst pack opening we've had. That's probably one of the most expensive, but let's put 1 popper up, try and get 2 more of that, and that'll be fine. Okie dokie, so deck profile time. We didn't do a deck profile last week, we're going to do a deck profile this week. Today we're going to actually be playing to win and not playing for fun. So today we're going to be playing Subterror, so we're going to be playing 3 copies of Ash Blossom, 3 Guru, 3 Fiendus, the 1 Archer, and the 1 Ummerstrix. That's it for monsters. The spells, 3 the Hidden Cities and the 1 Terraforming. You want your combos to resolve, so you're going to be playing 3 Called by the Grave. You want to draw as much as you can, so we're going to be playing 3 Extra and 2 Duality. We also need some back row removal, so we're going to be playing 3 Cosmics, as we're in pretty much trap format at this point. You need to play some form of spell and trap removal. We're also playing the 1 Jar of Avarice today, just to recycle Fienduses, just to recycle Dead Gurus and Ash Blossoms. We're going to try it. Even though we're not playing too many monsters, it does seem like it might be a good thing. 3 win conditions, 2 crackdowns. We're going to be playing 3 final battles. This is something I don't normally do, but today we're going to be playing 3 of them. Just seeing this card is broken. Making your monsters super huge is basically your win con. It's just a really good card. Also, flipping this, you can change Guru's effect because you then control a face-up Subterror card. 3 no, and 2 more no's. So that's it for the main deck, 40 cards. We're going to move on to the side deck first, because we've played around with this a lot today. Today we're going to be testing Sphere modes. These have just been changed in for Nibiru's. A lot of people right now, including the Spiral matchup, is making Appaloosa as the 5th card. So Nibiru is kind of becoming not bad as such, but a problem. And Nibiru seems to be the card to stop most decks, but most decks right now, combo decks wise, Spiral and stuff, are going to be summoning this. Also, Altergeist do tend to sometimes flood the board. So yeah, we're going to be playing 3 spin mode, 3 summon limit. This is going to stop the Spiral dead in its tracks. You know, they soul, they get the quick fix. You still flip this, they can't do anything else after that. So absolutely broken card, and I think it's probably the best track for this deck. 3 super poly. This has gone to the side deck now. It just doesn't affect certain matchups, and I'd rather it be in the side deck and side it in than draw it dead. 3 Waking the Dragon. Everyone's playing back row removal, and being able to resolve this and summon one of your targets is absolutely broken. And lastly, we're going to be deciding 3 evenly matched. A lot of people are maining this right now in going second decks. The extra deck, 3 Starving Venoms. It's probably the best extra deck super poly target. 2 Violet Chimeras. I'm going to need to change these at some point, but right now they're staying. 2 Mud Dragon, 1 Triff, and 1 Dragostapelio. For crackdown targets, we are still playing double Galatea. Orcust is still a thing, unfortunately. And then we're playing 4 Waking the Dragon targets. So we're playing 2 Ultimate Falcon. This is the best one. You can summon this at any time during the duel. Big 3.5k, unaffected by card effects. It's absolutely broken. If they're going to go ahead and blind pop you, for instance, if you side in the Waking the Dragons, set them straight away, and their first move is to pop the Waking the Dragon. Obviously, it's not intentional. You're going to go ahead and summon Last Warrior from another planet. This is going to pretty much stop your opponent from doing anything. And if you're playing a spell heavy deck, some people are still trying to play strikers, some people are still playing many other decks with too many spells. We've got the Naturia Exterior as well. Like I said, today we're actually playing to win and not fun like we've done for the last few weeks. Hopefully this week we can do well. Probably not. We're probably going to go 0-4 just because I said we're playing to win, but we'll never know, hopefully. Fingers crossed. And we are here again. So this is actually game 2. We got OTK'd game 1 while I was trying to fix my camera. It wasn't recording. So this is game 2. So we go ahead and set 3 and pass here. This is against Cosmos. Against a fairly good player at the store. He's topped a few events. He starts with an Extrav. Banishes 6. I do Ash Blossom it. We go with the Cosmo Town next. He shuffles a few back. But he doesn't seem to have any monsters. And you know, Cosmo do need monsters. So he sets a couple back row. Passes to me. And here we contemplate doing something. I can't remember what I was contemplating. It was whether to set the card or not, but we do set the card. We summon the Nemesis Archer and we attack for first damage for 1600. Here on the end phase he Heavy Storm Dusters both of my back row, but I have the Solemn Judgment. I wanted to protect that back row. I believe that one is a summon limit. But unfortunately, you're about to see after we pay the 4,000 life points, he actually has the Trap Trick, and he's just going to go ahead and banish another copy of Duster and pop the middle one and the summon limit at this point. So, he draws again, another spell and trap, sets, passes to me. We get the Extrav at this point. Very nice. A lovely consistency. We do love Extrav. Very pricey. Could do with a reprint. Possible OTS Ultimate, I reckon, next. That is my verdict. You heard it here first. Don't say I didn't say so. People are saying it won't. I think it will. I think OTS 13 Ultimate. We set 1. We attack again with the Nemesis Archer. This is pretty much how this game goes. He doesn't see many monsters. Actually, I don't think he sees any monsters. We mess up the life point counter here, but he's keeping track as well, thankfully. But he's only got like 2 more attacks at this point. He Cosmo Towns, shuffles some stuff back in, draws some more bricky cards. He actually does draw a monster, but he draws a big ship. And no play starters, so he passes over to me after setting another card. He's got 4 back row, 5 back row at this point. We poke for 16. Just keep poking away. Here we realise we mess it up, so we just abandon that. He's keeping track anyway, but at this point he's on 16, so Archer has literally 1 more attack for game. Here he goes ahead and Cosmo Towns once again. I think he drew another big ship, but again, he fails short. He doesn't draw anything off it. And pretty much I attack. And that's the game. So we go into game 3. Of course, it is 1-1 at this point. He sets 2. He then sets a third, or just slightly off screen. Passes it over to me. Oh, he sets a 4th. Passes it over to me. We draw here. And we start with Extrav. Extrav just MVP of the day. I love Extra. It's such a good card. We set 1 and a couple of back row. 4 to be precise, but he has the Duster again. But he pops the Waking the Dragon. Oh, it came in clutch. Game 1. Yes, the Waking the Dragon is going to resolve. And we go for the Last Warrior. Why would we not go for the Last Warrior? He didn't banish it, and it's just turn after turn after turn after turn of the Last Warrior beating him down. He can't do nothing. He can't summon any monsters. He keeps setting. I just beat over it. Nothing in his deck is going to be over 2,800 for set. And eventually, after at least 9 or 10 turns beating, we take that game 2-1 and we go into game 2. So here we're playing against Salads. He summons Debug. I ash it, but he has the Signet Mining, which is unfortunate. He goes ahead and links it into Baylinks and uses the Baylinks effect to search. Is he search the Sanctuary or the Will off this? Will, right? That Will's that one. I think so. Anyway, he searches the fields. Is it? No, I swear it searches the field spell. I don't know. Maybe it was Will. Maybe it's any spell. He has the Gazelle, which he obviously searched off the mining. He sends the Rage, and this is pretty much the demise. Salads are not a very good matchup when it gets set up. If you can set up with Salads, it just wipes Subterrors and Altergeist and back row decks because it could just pop them all. So you will expect us to side in the Waking the Dragon for this matchup, but unfortunately it will never, ever, ever resolve. I never draw Waking the matchup when Waking the Dragon against this matchup. He passes over to our turn with I believe the Rage set and a Sunlight Wolf, which was reincarnate summoned. We get the Extrav to draw 2. Again, Extrav, I think, you know what, thinking about it now, I'm commenting this, I think we Extrav every single game. That card loves us, and I love it. So, we set 1, set 2, set 3, pass over to him, and he goes ahead and pops the face down and the face down Guru and one of the back row. Now I should actually tell you, because it will come up in this game. You will see in the deck profile that we were playing Solomon Great Violet Chimera. A friend of mine told me that I should stop playing Violet Chimera and start playing something else. So I was scrolling through my binders and stuff, and I had Dysplexa Chimera. And then it hit me that I could also play the new Earth Golem at Ignister. So I went through some other decks, because I knew I had some copies, and we swapped out the 2 Violet Chimeras for 2 Earth Golem at Ignisters. And it will come up. Here, he Heat Leos to pop. I didn't realise it would just return, so we didn't. He attacks for a significant amount, reincarnate summons it. He's going to get the sets back for the Rage, and it's pretty much inevitable at this point. He can pop up to 3 every turn at this point, and we're not going to be able to set more than 3. He played around the Super Poly here as well, with the Earth Column, because he had the link but no extra monster. He had an extra monster here, we could have Super Polyed. I think we actually set a Super Poly, which he ends up popping, and we end up losing this. So Extrav again! Oh, look at that, MVP! Give it an ulti print. I would like ulti Extravs. Ulti Desires looks amazing, so I would assume ulti Extrav also looks amazing. We Cosmic the Raw. That's what we do. We Cosmic the Raw here. No, we don't. Sorry. He Extrav the Raw. We summon the Fiendus, get the Guru, and then he rages the 3. There we go. Now we know what we are. So this is game 2. For here, we're going to set 1, set 2, pass. That's all we do. I think our hand was a little bit clunky. Thankfully, his hand was clunky too. He Twin Twisters the board, then resolves Pot of Desires. I just thought I was just going to get OTK'd at this point. I actually really did think I was going to get OTK'd. He gets the Will, summons back the Foul. This is when I kind of realised his hand can't be that good if he's summoning the Foul that he discarded off the Twisters. So he gets the Baylinks, searches the Sanctuary. I knew it'd come up at some point. There we go. Reincarnate summons the Baylinks into another copy of itself. I'm pretty sure it's called Reincarnate Summoning. I always call it that. Every time I play Salads, I call it that. He passes over to me. I go ahead and flip the Guru. Sorry about that. We search the final battle, and he changed role, which is actually pretty big because I believe we have the Hidden City in hand. We got drolled a few times today. It's unfortunate. It is a good card. It's very good in this matchup. It's very good in, of course, the Sparrow matchup. We attack over the Baylinks. He uses the Graveyard Baylinks to protect itself. With that, we set 2 and pass. He draws for turn. a lot of contemplating that. I've had to cut a lot out of these videos of where we just sat, we thought about things, both me and my opponent, that obviously I've not known. But here he goes ahead and twin twisters the 2 back row, discarding the evenly matched. So I am pretty much at this point forced to fiend this. I kind of want to keep my back row. It's kind of how the deck works. So here he gets to summon the Foul off the Will, I believe. And we go ahead and trigger the Super Poly. Get rid of those 2 for the Earth Golem Ignister. He reads this, he was like, oh, this is a new card. I was like, yeah, it's a new card. It's a very good card. Comes up in other matchups other than the Salad matchup. You know, people still play Marincess and stuff. With no cards left in hand and only them on left on build, he scoops and we win Game 2. Game 3, I believe this is where I have the Waking the Dragon from turn 1 and he doesn't pop it. He plays around it perfectly. So he goes ahead, sets a couple back row. He has a reincarnated Sunlight Wolf. We top deck the Cosmic, banishing the Roar. There you go, I knew it'd come up at some point. He still has the Rage set though. I kind of wanted to hit the Rage because the Rage is more of a impact. So we fiend us here, getting a Guru. This is turn 3 by the way. He just completely outed my board turn 1 and set up the Sunlight with the 2 back row. And I set... He flips the Rage, targeting this, targeting the Guru and the Face Down, which was a Super Poly. He just goes ahead and just slaps the living hell out of me, summoning a bunch of Salad monsters. Going on to Game 3. So we play Extrav because the deck needs the Extrav. If we haven't established, we resolve those Extravs. Draw 2. And... I had no idea who this guy was or what this guy was playing. I set 4. He said, alright, you're playing Geist or you're playing Subterrors. I was just laughing at this point. He didn't know what I was playing. I had no idea what he was playing. He's either new to the store or he's just decided to come and show up for the day. And he activates Reinforcement of the Army. And straight to mind I was thinking, right, heroes, they're in the meta right now. So I ash it. And he changed the call by. I was like, okay, so we're going to have to play through possibly like a Dystopia board or something like that. He's probably going to search the Solid Soldier or something at this point. Possibly maybe even searching that's a Sky Striker Ray. And at this point I was just like, I thought this deck was dead. Is this deck not dead? I thought Engage just made this deck dead. Apparently not. He was to 1-1 at this point. He ended up finishing 2-1. He summons the Ray. Our back row is not looking the greatest, but it is going to have a big impact here. So he pokes for 15, dealing that, and then he, after the damage calculation is done, uses her effect to tribute itself to summon a Sky Striker Link. But we have the Call by the Grave. We're just going to banish the Ray. We don't want any more of that. And seeing the deck plays, what, 6 monsters? Do they play 3 rows? I'm assuming they play 3 rows, right? Because without Engage, I'm assuming you need the 3 rows and the 3 Ray. So they're going to be playing at least 6 monsters. Probably a handful of hand traps. And at this point, not a lot that we can do. We go ahead and set a face down, which might be a Guru. I'm not too sure. He has the 2 back row, and I know what these 2 back row are, and they were the bane of my existence. So I flip the Guru, use its effect. Hey, he's playing Subterrors. He then goes ahead and has a response with a Infinite Impermanence, which was a little bit annoying. So he imperms the Guru, and I think I played... I mean, what I did here, looking back at it, might not have been the best play. It just negs resources. Oh, maybe it's the turn after this. Here we summon another Guru and attack both directly. There we go. So that is 3,400 damage, I want to say. I use Guru's effect to set both. And here he has another Imperm. It might have been game 2 what I was talking about. 3,400 damage is quite a lot of damage, but at this point he's no cards left on the field. He has, I think, 4 in hand, something like that. We always ask hand size, by the way. Something I've learned through playing this game is always keep track of what's in your opponent's hand and hand size. So here he goes ahead and evenly matches. We Fiendus that. We had the Fiendus. Thankfully we didn't Fiendus earlier. and we fiend us that evenly matched. That could have been huge. That could have completely changed this game around, and that's why evenly matched is possibly the best card in this format. Continuing on, though, a lot of blank plays. He sets one, passes. I was like, okay, so we draw. We're top decking at this point, by the way. We use Guru's effect to search, and we search I believe, another Fiendus at this point. So, 2 Gurus on the board. I think we had a there can only be one set. Obviously, we do not want to flip the there can only be one because it's just going to mess our board up. So, at this point, we could have played this differently. Instead, we attacked, and it was a draw, and then attacked for 16. We could have played this slightly differently, and we'll get into that when it comes up, because it does come up in the next turn. Of course, draw being on 0 defense meant that was just going to get destroyed. But this face down here, caught me off guard. So we go ahead and set both off the Guru, draw for turn. We go ahead and flip to search. I think at this point we search, I want to say final battle. Yeah, we search the final battle. And we are in such a good position. We flip, obviously Guru is a hard once per turn. We set, which I can only assume is the final battle, and attack. And it is a Ghost Ogre, who's obviously on 1800 defense. So here, we kind of like waste resource, but don't waste resource at the same time. He wasn't on many more life points. He was running out of cards, so we just went for it. We cracked down the Ghost Ogre. And then it becomes ours. We attack for 16. And my thought behind this was I can set the Ghost Ogre, flip it the turn after, and then I can use the Ghost Ogre, because, in case you didn't know, Ghost Ogre can tribute from field, which is quite good, you know, in this situation. It comes up. So here we Guru to set itself in Ghost Ogre. We draw for turn. The crackdown doesn't go, and we flip the Guru to search. Here we are running out of things to search. We've got no back row space. We don't need Fiendus, so we search the Umastrix, and this is the big boy. This is the one that flips, banishes a card, banishes a monster, and I think it's on like 46 when final battle's on the board. So we Guru to set both, which will, of course, because there's no face-up, trigger the Umastrix. We can set the Umastrix, flip it with a final battle, banish the card. He just scoops. He knew it was coming, and we go to game 2. Sets a couple of back row. I'm not going to lie, I forgot what Sky Strikers were doing. I forgot what they were. And we go ahead and play the Pot of Extravagance to start things off. I think that is every game so far. Top 6 is fine, he says. We go ahead and banish the top 6. It doesn't have the response. We get to draw 2, because they don't Ash Extrav. You don't Ash Extrav, people. Never Ash Extrav. It's not 3+2, I promise you. Anyway, we get the Hidden City. Hidden City's effect. He's got the back row. The back row is always fearing. Subterra's kind of struggle going second. That's why we side the evenly and stuff. But we search the Fiendus. If anyone ever searches Fiendus off the Hidden City, you already know they have the Guru at this point, which obviously we do. The Hidden City will flip the Guru. Guru's effect to search would happen. And I think here's where it happened. Yeah, so he flips the Imperm, and we Fiendus. This, thinking about it now, was just a waste of resources. We could have just kept the Fiendus and attacked. We just search another Fiendus off it. But we didn't achieve anything here other than we wasted a Fiendus and we couldn't attack. So a slight misplay. But I will tell you now, it doesn't cost us. We go ahead and set a small army of the back row. 4 back row. Pass over to him. Does he have... He has... Is it this... Yeah, it is this game. He has the Twin Twisters. He discards another copy of Twin Twisters to pop 2 back row. Not much we can do about that. I think one of them was a final battle, unfortunately. But I think we may have multiple copies of it at this point. Passes over to him. He just passes straight back. I was like, oh, okay. Pot of Duality. I think this is the first time we've seen this. We reveal an Ash, a Duality, and a Strike. I think we take the Strike. The mind behind this was we can negate the summon of like Ray or something like that, and which could just completely shut down. Strike is a great card against Strikers. He go ahead and activates Droll in response to that. We have the call by, which we did want to continue searching, because as you can see, we're going to flip the Subterra Guru effect, activating to search another Subterra card. The deck is so fun. We search another final battle at this point. Maybe he got rid of both final battles. I'm pretty sure we had 2. So this would be our last final battle if that was the case. Set a couple back row, poke for 16, and it goes over to him. He gives up keeping track of the life points. We pass over to him. I don't know what else he had in hand, but the discarding of the other Twin Twisters was huge. Here he goes and activates the terraforming to hopefully search his field spell. I ashed it. He called by the graves that, and I contemplate, and I fiendus the call by the grave. The reasoning behind this was he now has no cards in hand. He was top decking from here on out with 1 back row, and we were in a bright position. We of course have the Hidden Cities effect to flip it, and it was an imperm. A little bit annoying, but wait. We have the final battle. If you remember, we have the final battle. This is the last card he has, by the way. No cards in hand, no cards left on field. Do we do it? Yeah. We flip the Subterra final battle, and instead of going for the attack boost, we go ahead and just call prevent effect negation. One of the 4 effects on the final battle. So he can't negate the effects of that, so the imperm fizzles, and we get to search a Fiendus. So essentially we just got a free negate. We attack with the Guru, dealing 16. We could, again, have dealt more and not had the Fiendus, but at this point, with 1 negate in hand and him having one card on the field, it pretty much assures victory unless he top decks something ridiculous, like, I don't know, Dark Ruler no more, then evenly matched. We final battle, set a card, and go back to mine, draw, flip it with the Hidden City, search. I don't even think we need the search at this point, but we search another copy of Final Battle. That gives us 2 final battles set, so obviously it wasn't the final battle. That's a lot of finals in that conversation. And we continue on. We attack for 16. Boost him up to 34, I believe it is, with the final battle, and he's not got much left, not gonna lie. We are nearly at the end of this game, putting us at 2-1 going into the last round. Could we go 3-1 this week? We'll have to see, he draws for turn, and he summons the Sky Striker Rose. He goes ahead and links into the... is that Hayate, I believe? But it doesn't matter, because we just Solemn Strike it anyway. That pretty much wraps that game up, to be honest. He goes ahead and passes straight back to me. We don't even bother setting at this point. We don't even need to. Just flip everything and attack. It's game. We knew it was game. And we are in a good position to possibly win 3 out of the 4. But we get paired against Ben Sherman. If those of you don't know, he is a former champion. He is a very good player, and he is piloting one of the hardest and best decks in this format with the Spiral Danger Magician's Soully mess. He goes ahead and resolves Sneck, summoning the Sneck, drawing a card, and then he goes ahead and attempts to resolve another Danger. I didn't see what it was. We roll, we hit the middle one, and here we hit I think that's a Call by the Grave. And it was Nessie, by the way, so he gets the summoning of the Nessie here. And his hand must have been a bit clunky, because every time I play against Spiral, they end on a lot more than this. But this might be all he ends on. A Nessie, a Sneck, and a Face Down. And you're going to see an absolute big brain play from me in this next. Well, it's not a big brain play. To be honest, it was just luck of the draw. But it does come up, and it full on wins. Of course, like I said earlier, Ben Sherman is a former champion. Won plenty of events. He actually, this was recorded on Thursday. On Saturday, he got 2nd place at the Carlisle Regional. You can go ahead and search that deck list up on YouTube. You'll find it somewhere. And we go ahead and passes to me, and we go ahead and activate the Hidden City. He's going to go ahead and give us a lovely search of a Fiendus, like we said earlier. If you ever search the Fiendus, you pretty much know you have Guru, so I don't even offer the cut at this point. We set, we flip, we get the search off the Guru. We search the final battle. This is the only combo you need to know, by the way, to play the Subterra deck. Get Guru, get Fiendus, get Final Battle. From here, we just set a bunch of back row. And we have to cut an absolute load out of this in a minute, because we have a weird judge call that Ben wanted to know, and I thought I know, but he just wanted a judge call on it anyway. So, we pass over to him. He gets the one of the spiral cards. He declares monster anyway, but it's spell. We know now we're top decking Pot of Duality, so he summons it. Is it a super agent? I think it's a super agent. He gets the link 2 into the Nightmare Phoenix. The very good card. He discards the utility. Is it utility wire? The trap that revives. We call by the master plan. He utility wires to save it. We call by the master plan. He uses the other one. We call by the master plan. There we go. With no master plan, the deck struggles. Really, really struggles. It can't search resort. Resort's at 1, obviously. He scoops. He just straight scoops. We go to game 2, and he lets me go first. Instantly, I thought he sided evenly. He sided Waking the evenly. He's going to side Lightning Storm because I have seen his deck profile and I knew what he was playing. So here we duality are terraforming, and we're going to go ahead and get ourselves the Hidden City. Use the Hidden City's effect to search, and we are going to get a Fiendus. Like I said earlier, we already had Drew the Guru, so it's obvious at this point. We get the Guru search for the final battle, and again we just basically have the full board of Guru, the Hidden City, Fiendus, and final battle. This is probably the optimal board with a bunch of floodgates that Subterrors can kind of make, and with that we go ahead and set not 1, not 2, but 3 back row. He goes ahead and top decks, and he starts with a Magician's Soul, sending a copy of Master Plan. Again, that important card. We straight Call by the Grave for Master Plan. We hard drew the Call by the Grave again, and like I said, with no Master Plan, the deck does struggle. So the Master Plan is of course banished, but Souls is going to go ahead and still summon itself. Here he has the Where Art Thou? Contemplating here. We have the 2 back row, and I think, and thinking about it now, this might have been a mistake, but we Fiendus the Where Art Thou, and from there he's kind of just stuck. He has the Soul on board. Does he have any extenders? Does he have any extenders? He goes ahead and activates it. He calls Spell, and this time it's a monster. The Winged Dragon of our Sphere Mode card, of course, a card we sided in. So he goes ahead here and offers the cut. He souls for 1, discarding the, I believe, utility wire again to draw a card. I think he has 3 in hand at this point. Just contemplating, we're contemplating. I was really nervous, you know. I never play against Ben, and I really should play more. He goes ahead and summons the Super Agent, and I was really, really nervous playing. You know, I just wanted to do well. He's go ahead here and reads Fiendus. He goes ahead and makes a link of 2. He's going to make another Nightmare Phoenix. It's of course game 2. So Nightmare Phoenix, he seemed to favour this. He obviously feared the back row, which you should do when you're playing against Spiral. When you're playing with Spiral, sorry, and you're playing against Subterror. They can easily flip. There can be only 1 or anything at this point. He goes ahead and targets the far back row. A lot of contemplating. This I think is where the judge call comes in. So I flip, eventually we'll flip the card that is the Subterror final battle, and I call prevent effect negation, just in case he attacked into the Guru here, and we can still negate the attack and stuff. So the judge call does come in. Basically he wanted to know if he can still negate the activation of Subterrors, as opposed to the effect. It turns out you can. It doesn't prevent effect negation. There goes Brad walking away as he carries on. He gets the Danger Snack here, and will eventually summon that, pop in the back row. But it's another Waking the Dragon. We look at what's on board here. As you can see, we lean over. The Snack would be on, I don't know what attack. The Super Agent was on like 18. The Phoenix was on 19. Not a lot that he can do. We summon it. The Last Warrior from Another Planet. Once again, coming in clutch. Of course, its effect will activate, destroying the face down Guru that we have. But we do come up with kind of a play here. We get another judge call on it, and it ruled in my favour. You'll see it as we contemplate what to do now. He's stuck with these 3 monsters on board. Not a lot he can do. We top deck, and we're just going to begin to just beat over his monsters one by one. We start reading some cards, because I had this thought in my head, and like I said, eventually we do end up judge calling it. So we start by attacking over the spiral card. I figured that if he does out this, he can make double helix, etc, etc. So we start by attacking that, passing over to him. He just changes the SNET to defense, passes over to me. I set 1. This time we beat over the Phoenix. It's a link 2, you know, he can make plays off that. If he pops this, he could go Moral Sword. We didn't want that. I pass over to him. He does nothing again, passes back to me, and I didn't think about what I was doing here. I was just setting, popping over this. Nothing left on board, end of battle phase, bang, evenly matched. Was tough, but we kept the Last Warrior. It was the MVP of the game, it was the MVP of the day, and he couldn't do much more at this point. He top decks again, and he just sets 1. No, he doesn't. Does he pass again? I think he just passes again here. I think he was hoping to possibly top deck some more stuff. He eventually does set 1 and passes back over to me, and once again we're just going to keep beating over every monster he summons with the Last Warrior. Nothing in this spiral deck that, without special summoning or any of the things that you can't do under the Last Warrior, will get over the 2350 attack. I think it's on a weird amount of attack. Sets 1, passes again, I set 1, beat over it, and this will come up later on. This face down card here will win me the game, again because of the judge call that we mentioned earlier on. We attack directly here for 2350. I think it's 2350. It's a weird attack anyway. He goes ahead and passes over to him. He top decks. He sets 1. He sets a face down monster. Passes over to me again, I believe, at this point. Not a lot to do. Here comes Callum again, the guy we lost to, who was playing the Solomon Greats. He sets 1, beat over the monster again, and he has the trap, which adds it back to hand, I think. Yeah, adds it back to hand. Draw, same stuff. Set, pass over to me. Again, it's just not a lot. He gets the utility wire, gives it a token. I think it's after the 3rd standby. We activate the final battle, flipping the Guru. Here, as you can see, he reads. We do get a judge call. This is not a flip summon. This is a card effect flipping a monster. So this is totally legal to do. Same with something like the Hidden City. You can flip it. It is not a flip summon. It is a card effect flipping the monster face up. So you can do all of this under the Last Warrior. We now have 2 monsters we can attack with, which is pretty much inevitably going to round up the game. He can only set 1 card per turn. I can attack with 2. We're going to go ahead and boost it to 34. And that is big damage right there. He's taken about 5 or 6k at this point. And we are inevitably looking like a victory. He goes ahead and adds it back. Gets the card off the trap. Sets, passes back to me. We draw again. We're going to go ahead and attack. We're going to go ahead attack. Boost for game. We've done it. 3 and 1 onto prize support. Okay, so I went 3 and 1. Only loss was to Salmon Greats. The Last Warrior is an amazing card, and we got 2 OTS and an open mine, and then Alex is opening 1 for me as well. The shooter. Move the camera over here.
Let's get.
And that's it. The battery died on the camera, and we couldn't record the second pack. A little bit unfortunate, but don't worry, we only pulled a super rare like always. We don't pull ultimate rares on this channel. Sorry if that's the content you came for. Maybe go look at someone that has better pack luck, but we don't pull anything good. So yeah, that's it. This is the deck I think we're going to be taking into the rest of this format. It is a fun deck to play. It is a good deck. And we're going to make a few minor changes next week. Probably going to cut the Pot of Avarice, possibly for a Subterra Cave Clash, and like I mentioned earlier, we've already cut the Violet Chimera for the Earth Column Attic Nista. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you have, leave a like, comment and subscribe. We upload this video every Monday usually. Last week was slightly late. So like I said, if you have, make sure you stay tuned. You can always ring the notification bell. It's been your boy Screech, guys. Peace.